I keep getting lots of questions regarding software development. Questions like, is it still relevant to learn how to code in 2021? Am I too late or am I too old to start learning how to code? And what do I need to know or have before starting to program? Where do I learn how to code? How do I start programming? And all these questions, I'm going to be answering them based on my personal experience, and I'm going to be giving you tips and advice, hoping that you find this video very useful. You know someone who would benefit from it. Please do not forget to share this link. Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time, a very big welcome to you. Please do not forget to hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. I'm going to start by answering the first question, which is it relevant to learn how to code in 2021? And my answer is going to be a very big yes. I'm going with yes because I have lots and lots of reasons why. I'm just going to list up probably like 4 or 5 reasons why I think it's very beneficial for you to start learning how to code in 2021 if you want to. The first reason being that there will be job opportunities for you. There are lots and lots of job opportunities for software developers, especially with this pandemic. Most companies now are moving online, looking for applications and websites to build to help interact with their customers and all. And for this, it means that lots and lots of developers are in high demand. And not people are worried that, oh, the market is saturated. No, the market is not saturated. If not Google, Amazon, they won't still be employing developers up till now. Lots and lots of companies are looking for good software developers. So if you know you want to learn how to code, I'm here to tell you that it is a great time to start. Now, the second reason being the pay. One thing about software is I know probably when you start, the pay is going to be very decent. So if you want to learn to start coding and you're worried about what your pay is going to be like, I just want to tell you that you're going to start off on a very good note. It might not be very big, but the pay is going to be very decent, which brings me to the third one: working and meeting amazing smart ass people. Do you like to work with people who are smart? Do you like to work with people from diverse community, from diverse culture and background? This career will give you this opportunity to meet people, to meet smart people. I've met a lot of amazing smart people along the way as a software developer. So if this is what you're looking for, please by all means start coding if you want to. And the fourth reason being that learning software development is skills you're going to acquire. Technical skills, you're going to acquire soft skills. Soft skills, you're going to work with people, you're going to work in teams. So with that, you're going to learn how to collaborate with people. You have to learn how to be very consistent. You have to learn discipline. You will learn how to be patient. These skills and more are the things you're going to benefit from if you start learning how to code in 2021. I hope with just these 4 reasons alone, you would be willing, if you have always wanted to learn how to program, to start coding in 2021. So now that brings me to the second question: am I too late to start programming? The answer is still no. You're not too late and you're not too old to start learning how to program. People are always worried that, oh, I think I'm too old to start learning how to program. My advice will always be, as long as you have that interest, you have that zeal to want to learn how to program, you're never too late. The thing about software development is you always find a job, especially if you have value to bring to the table. As long as you've learned it and you know what you're doing, not too late. You're probably worried that switching from one career to the other, coming to software, oh, it's going to be very late for me, I have to move from this level to this level. One thing about it is there's always a career path for you as a software developer. So if you want to start, please do not be discouraged that you're too old or you're too late to the game. Start coding and then start sending out applications. You're definitely going to land one job. Now that brings me to the third one, which is, what do I need to know or what do I need to have to start coding? People always ask these questions. The very popular one is, must I have a computer science degree to start coding? The answer is no, but that doesn't mean that it's not important. If you have the opportunity to get a computer science degree, please by all means do, because it's actually going to make the journey a bit easier for you compared to those who don't have this background or who don't have any background in computer science or engineering. So if you have the opportunity to do, please by all means grab it. But then that doesn't mean that it should stop you. If you do not have any background in science or you do not have any background in programming, please, it should not be a reason why you shouldn't start programming, because there are lots of amazing developers out there who didn't have anything at all to do with science. If you want to start programming and you think not having a computer science degree is a barrier, I'm here to tell you that it is not. And then some other things I think you need to have. You need to have a laptop. I can't specify a particular laptop for you. but I can recommend that maybe something that has 4 gig RAM and above if you're just starting out. So if you can get a good laptop, you have internet, then you're ready to go. Another thing I would want you to have is what they call patience. You need to be very patient. It's not something that you just start out immediately and boom, you're there. So one thing about programming is when you start, it might seem a little bit difficult when you start. You see yourself struggling, you see some things very confusing, you would want to start cramming a lot of things. I'm here to tell you it's totally okay and normal. You're going to struggle a lot, but I want you to be very patient, I want you to be very consistent, and I want you to be very disciplined. So when you start, don't just start today and say, okay, I'm going to start programming, and then maybe you touch it probably like once in 2 or 3 weeks. No. So if you're going to start, I want you to do it on a weekly basis. Say you say in a week you're going to be learning how to code probably 3 hours or 4 hours, 4 days in a week or 5 days in a week. And one thing about this programming is the more you learn it, the better you get at it. So if you're going to start out, do not come today and do it and then the next time you're opening your laptop to learn to code is in 2 or 3 weeks time. So if you're starting out, please, you have to be very consistent. I mean every single word of it. You have to be very consistent when you're doing this. You need to have a growth mindset. What I mean by growth mindset is when you learn something, you need to know that it can be unlearned, if that's a word. But you need to learn and unlearn things. The thing I need you to have is learning how to take feedback. If you want to grow as a software developer, you need to learn how to take feedback from people, because you're going to meet people who are really smart, who have been in this for like 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 5 years, telling you that, oh, I think you can improve on this. I think you did this well, but you can do this better. Because some people find it difficult taking feedback, and some people are quite mean when they give feedback, which you should stop if you do that. So when they give you feedback, you just have to know that people communicate in different ways. When they give you feedback, I want you to learn to take feedback and accept that, oh, okay, some people are actually smarter than I am, and yes, I'm going to either relearn or unlearn. Imposter syndrome is going to be there. When you start learning and probably you start applying for jobs, you're scared that, oh, I'm not going to get this job because I think I'm not good enough. Yes, it's going to be there. You're going to have imposter syndrome. So I want you to know that is a normal thing. So do not, because of fear that, oh, I don't think I deserve this job, oh, I don't think I've gotten to this extent to apply for this job. It should not stop you. Just know that imposter syndrome is real, and when it comes, you have to find a way to curb and fight it. So you do not miss a lot of opportunities because of imposter syndrome. And that thing I want you to know is there is no stupid question. I know some people get shy to ask questions. Some people feel very intimidated. Oh, people should believe that I'm supposed to know this by now, so I cannot ask this question. If you do that, you're not going to grow. One thing I do personally is when I don't understand something, I have gone to make my own personal research. When you're coming, I have questions. This is what I've been able to do, but I can't achieve this result. What do you think I should do? There are no stupid questions, because when you ask questions, it will even help you save more time and energy. And then when you ask questions, you get solution faster. Not when you stay on a bug for like 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You're not reaching out to people because you're probably feeling very intimidated or shy, or nobody will answer you. Ask questions, my dear. Finish them with questions. Ask questions. And the good thing about programming is that people are always willing to help you. So if you're in doubt or you have any questions, please go ahead and ask questions and people would answer you. One thing I love about software development is the community. A lot of people are into this. Websites like Stack Overflow, they have great community there where maybe you have questions that are confusing you, you can ask them and people will come to your rescue to answer. People really want to help you. People would want to help you. So if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask. And that brings me to the fourth question is, where do I learn how to code? I know you probably must have googled this question a lot, and this probably might be your 5th or 6th video about where do I learn how to code. There are lots and lots of websites right now that teach you how to code, and I'm going to divide them into 2 categories: the interactive platform and the non-interactive platform. What I mean by interactive platform is when you're coding there right there on the platform and you're seeing your results immediately. And the non-interactive ones is probably the ones where you have to buy course or download a video and you're watching it and probably you're not coding along. A lot of people do this. So now I'm going to talk about the interactive platforms. So the interactive platforms like Free Code Camp, Code Academy, Udacity. These platforms, they give you opportunity, or they give you a platform where when you want to code and then you start coding with them, for each course you are actually coding out the project and you're seeing the results immediately. I'm not going to say, oh, the interactive platform is better than the non-interactive platform. I think everybody have a different method of learning. Some people will first of all take the course. When they finish taking the course, they start working on the project, while some people want to learn on the go. So whichever one you find very suitable, whichever one you think works best for you, you go ahead and pick that. Then for non-interactive platforms, you have platforms like Udemy. Udemy, a lot of people have courses there, programming courses, where you can purchase a course on what you want to study or what you want to learn. You also have these YouTube channels exist on YouTube. There are lots and lots of tech channels where you can actually learn how to code. So I mentioned YouTube, Udemy, Tutorials Point, Coursera, EDX. These platforms are really amazing. I can't say, oh, this is the best. So if you want to learn, you can either choose the non-interactive platform or the interactive platform, or you can merge the both of them and learn. So now I've given you places where you need to go and start learning how to program. So let your excuse not be, oh, I do not know where to learn how to program. I've listed lots and lots of websites for you here. So you go ahead and pick one of them. That brings me to the other question where people always ask, oh, I don't know which particular category to pick. Should I go for the front end? Should I go for back end? Should I go for mobile? Should I go for iOS, Android? I think that question is very personal. For me, I would say it depends on what you like. But then I would also suggest, if you have an opportunity to build out a full project where you can work on the front end and work on the back end, it will give you an insight of what you really like. I can remember when I started then back in Andela, we were working, when I started programming newly, when I was still learning HTML and CSS, I was like, oh, it's going to be front end, I love colors and all. Along the way, I realized that this front end is really not my calling because of this CSS and the setting and the aligning and all. Why I had this opportunity to pick between front end and back end was that I was able to work on a project that required both front end and back end, and I discovered that I enjoyed the back end a lot more than the front end. So if you're looking to say, okay, which one do I pick, I cannot specify that for you. I think you have to build out like projects probably on the mobile. If you love game a lot and you want to build gaming applications, I think you have to move on with probably like Android and iOS. That would be a great fun for you. But if you like websites and designs and colors, I think you can go with the front end. And then for back end, if you like to deal with lots of data, statistics and all, you can go for back end. But then before you make these choices, I would advise that you please probably build out a project, maybe one or two. They mustn't be very mighty, very little, maybe to-do list app or an app that calculates for you. Whatever you enjoy when you're building these projects, it will now help you make a decision whether to go for front end, whether to go for back end, or even if you want to be a full stack developer. Being a full stack developer means you're doing both the front end and the back end. That brings me to this advice. Do not keep watching tutorials and not working on projects. That's the mistake people make, and at the end of probably 6-7 months, they really have nothing to show for it. That's why I would actually prefer you go with an interactive platform where as you're building out the project and you're seeing your results. So when you're taking these tutorial courses, please, by all means, I beg you, now is not an advice, but now I'm begging you, so you do not waste time, you do not waste your effort, you do not waste energy. Please try and work on projects. When you work on projects, you experience a lot of bugs, you experience a lot of errors, you see things you do not understand. Working on project gives you the opportunity to experience all this, and when you experience these things and at the end find the solution to them, you will feel happier, you feel more accomplished. And the good thing about it is your skills will start developing. You start learning how to solve problems, you start learning how to debug, you start learning how to grow as a developer, finding a mentor or joining communities. One thing about this programming is not a one-man race. For you to be able to grow very fast as a developer, you need to find a mentor. You need to find people around you who are already on this journey to make it easier for you. What made my journey easier for me was that I already had friends who are into programming, and I had to leverage from the knowledge they have. I kept on disturbing them. So one thing about this is you need to have that passion, you need to have that zeal to always want to know more, to always want to outdo what you did yesterday. So you have to learn to join communities. There are lots of communities. If you go on free code camp, if you use free code, there are communities for beginners. So you have to join communities and meet people. When you meet people, you would know who to ask questions. And then another thing I want to tell you is make Google your friend. Google is your friend. There's this video my friend Gift Egwenu made, I'm going to link it where she did a video describing and asking if you're googling the right questions, if you're googling right. So I want you to make use of Google a lot, because most questions and answers you have are definitely online. And then maybe when you Google and you don't find a solution, then you can now meet people. But why I would want you to Google and make research on your own is that when you're asking questions, you will know the right questions to ask. Now, another advice I would want to give you when you're starting out is please do not be discouraged, do not be overwhelmed. I know that starting programming can be quite hectic. It can be very discouraging. It can seem very difficult. But I want to tell you that as you keep going, I wouldn't say if you keep going it gets easier, but the thing is, if you keep going, you find better ways to make it easy for you. You find better ways to debug, you find better ways to write cleaner code, you find better ways to enjoy yourself. Is actually worth it. I'm telling you, programming is worth it. Me as a developer, I enjoy what I do. Even some days I struggle, some days I cry. Yeah, but at the end of the day, seeing people use the application I've built gives me this satisfaction and self-accomplishment that, oh, I'm adding value to the world, I'm bringing value to people are using my products. So if you are looking for some reasons why you should start programming, I think these things I've listed should encourage you to learn how to program. And I hope this video was very useful to you. Please, if you find it very useful, I beg you to share this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will bring more content to you. Thank you so much for staying with me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. I get lots of questions that would put money. Going to start off on a very cool ground, and that brings me to the fourth one, which is how people who know how to code. Even this pandemic has made it very. Even this pandemic has a part to play. I've been getting lost. I've been blabbing. 1, 2, ready, go, shoot. What do I need to know?